Hello everyone. On a scale of number 1 through to house fire, I think I was pretty close to the house fire side. This morning I came into the office and found that my computer wasn't on. I then swapped the power supply and found that didn't do anything. So then I looked at the plug. First off, the plug didn't want to come out of the socket that it was plugged into. It had melted itself onto the socket. On the underside was a very toasty plug. Some of you may have already spotted the problem, is this is very Chinesian and not legal to be sold in the UK. One of the problems you've got here that makes it very obvious that I shouldn't have used this in the first place is sheathing around the earth pin. So when you insert it, the earth pin is the first thing that makes contact and then grips all the way down, probably to the base. I think I can see a mark, a witness mark on it around there. So actually this plug won't have been earthed when it was plugged in and used. And then there's the obvious problem of it's all smoky and burnt. And the fuse is all melted to the fuse holder. So some friends have suggested that it's also, as well as being a dodgy plug, is also a dodgy fuse that probably wasn't rated for whatever it was printed on it. I can't read any of the writing on it, it's way too burnt, but I'll try and extract it from this fuse holder and see what's in it. And annoyingly, I don't so my computer was using this lead, but that doesn't mean that the computer or the power supply that the computer was using came with this lead. It just means that at some point one of the devices that's all been moved around in the office used that lead. So I don't know what it came with, which is a bit frustrating because whoever sold this stuff is selling incredibly dangerous leads with whatever stuff they're selling. So let's see whether I can extract this. Oh, that's got two of the sides off. That's not too bad, and some of the writing is still visible. Right, I'll come back to that fuse in a moment, but there we go, that's the burnt fuse holder, totally crispy. Now let's go to the fuse. Let's see, can I do that? Can I make it not so overblown in brightness? Where's that setting? That's more like it. My hand doesn't look like it's a ghost. It could have been if this had caught fire. So writings I can see on it is 13A, 13 amp, and some sort of what looks like maybe a BS number, can't quite see it, and then 250 volts. And what else is interesting that's on here? It looks like almost like the cap has partially blown off. I don't know what the dimensions of these should be, but this looks like maybe it was originally sitting there. Not entirely sure. Let's see whether I can extract the ends off of it. Don't really have anything suitable to hold onto it with, so let's just use some wire strippers and some pliers. Well, one of the caps is turning. Aha! There we go. And then this is where I'll also be useless because I don't know what gauge wire you're supposed to use in a fuse. It's definitely blown, but it seems more like a staple as a gauge of wire than something I'd expect. I'd expect that maybe to be thinner, but I'm not an expert on fuse wiring. You can see at the end there where it's all balled up and it's finally blown. very smoky. And there you can just about see in the bottom of that cap, the other end of that wire. So it's blown, I think, just about at the end where it then hooks round and makes contact to the cap. But there we go, that's quite a good lesson. Check your plugs. Anything which has this sheath on the earth or ground pin, throw away. Don't risk it. Hopefully this video has been helpful. If it has, it would be really helpful to me if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my YouTube channel. You don't need to have notifications turned on, but the subscriber numbers really do help.